My mother reached for the hairbrush next to a coiled ribbon on my dresser. The brush landed on my scalp, and she pulled the bristles through. "We're going to the courthouse today," her voice cheerful. "The judge wants to talk to you and your brother." I jerked away. "But you hate going to court," I said, my voice a high-pitched whine. I had eavesdropped on enough of my mother's phone conversations to know that in my parents' divorce, everything was split up. The china and the silver were divided. Even the matching lamps parted, one for my mother and one for my father. Things that couldn't be split had to be given one home, like the car, the sofa, and the children. In court, we were not Martin and Becky. In the custody dispute, we were the children, as if the table or the bed was being argued over. My mother set the brush down. "Hurry along and get dressed," she said at my door, her voice firm and decided. "Breakfast is ready." All of it, the dress, the hair ribbon, the new shoes, were for the judge, who would decide where I belonged. I kicked off my tights. "I'm not going," I said, arms crossed tight. My mother simply turned and left my room, her fingers sliding off the knob. I followed her down the hall, feet stomping. "I'll button my lip," I said. "Get dressed," she said, and opened the door to Martin's room. Martin stood in front of his closet wearing brown corduroy trousers, the only pair of pants he owned with the knees still in them. "I don't know why we have to dress up," he said, tugging at the stiff edge of his collared shirt. "You look handsome," my mother said. If Martin was going, well then, I was going too. He always seemed to know what to do. I followed him everywhere back then. I was 5 and he was 6. At the Stanislaus County Superior Court, up the steps we went. Raindrops beaded up and rolled off the protective hard shell of my new Mary Janes, and small pebbles bit into the soles. Inside the building, the tick of my new shoes bounced off high ceilings and echoed along the bare walls of hollow corridors. My mother stopped in front of 2 big doors and bent down, all legs with a straight back, knees squeezed by her skirt. "You must tell the judge everything you've told me about your father." Her voice hushed and severe. "He needs to know that your father doesn't feed you until after 10 o'clock at night, that you sleep on the floor at his house, and that he drinks like a fish.